In the early years of the United States, we did not have the same Constitution we have today. Instead, we had a different Constitution. This was called the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation was the first Constitution of the United States. It gave most of the rights and power to the states rather than the central government. The only branch of government was the legislative branch, which despite ruling the whole country, had little rights. The Constitution failed to support the people. There are big reasons why. The central government could not draft an army. It could only request states to send men to join the army. This was made to prevent the government from using a strong army to take away the rights of the people. As a result, the government could not make a nearly strong enough army to face opponents like the British. Also, no state was going to bother accepting a request since they had the right to say no. Also, the government had no right to tax the citizens. The government could only request money from the states. The colonists believed that this would be a good way to prevent the government from taxing citizens too much, as to what happened when they're under the rule of King George III. Obviously, the states probably did not accept giving money to the central government since they did not have to. Congress could not even collect owed debt to the states, since the states had the right not to. This caused the central government to lack proper funds to operate correctly, and eventually failed. Also, the government could not even get too much laws passed. To pass a law, 9 out of 13 states had to agree with the new law created, which is close to impossible. All the states had different interests, like the South wanting slavery and the North not wanting it, for example. So laws had hardly got passed at all. Even worse, to make it change the articles, 13 out of 13 states had to agree. This is obviously borderline possible and nothing really got done. People called Federalists believed that they should make a completely different constitution and get rid of the articles. Others, creatively named anti-Federalists, thought that we should revise the articles instead, because they fear another King George III was still in the air. There came two ideas, the New Jersey Plan and the Virginia Plan. The New Jersey Plan wanted to benefit smaller states like Rhode Island and New Jersey. Each state would be given the equal amount of seats in Congress. The Virginia Plan opposed the idea. They thought that they should benefit large states like itself. The number of people representing the states in Congress was dependent on the state's population. Eventually, an agreement was made. This event was called the Great Compromise. The legislative branch would have two houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives benefited larger states. The people for each state depended on the population. The Senate benefited smaller states. Each state had 2 seats there, no matter the population. This idea was put into the Constitution, our current one. 2 branches were added, the executive branch and the judicial branch. Now one person alongside the Senate made the decisions, while the judicial branch decides whether people broke the law and what their punishment would be. To make the anti-Federalists happy, they added a Bill of Rights, and more after that, explaining the rights of the people and government. This is so the government can serve its intended cause, to protect the rights of the people. So far, the Constitution is working very well, it has lasted hundreds of years and is still kept stable. While the creation of our nation was rough at times, it's still something to be proud of, because things really could have been worse.